Today on Pork Choices, we're learning Cajun Creamed Corn, the kind that finally makes you say, oh, that's what it's supposed to taste like. Just in time to show out at your holiday festivities and earn back some credibility from whatever happened last Thanksgiving. We don't have to talk about it. And yeah, I'm back on camera for this one. Hope I still remember how to do this. All right, starting out, we are going to prep all of our ingredients ahead of time, go a lot more faster, and also gives us a chance to find out how many of our spices are expired. So I'm gonna dice up half a sweet onion here. I'm gonna kind of go with a fine dice. You could absolutely use a white onion if you want to. Next up, we're gonna cut up 1 celery stalk, and if you are like me and you don't like celery, guess what? It still is good in this dish. Up next, we've got a couple of cloves of garlic, and I love using my garlic press here because you don't have to take the garlic out of its paper. And I'm gonna go about 3 to 4 cloves of garlic just because I really love garlic. And then we're gonna go in with 3/4 of a cup of heavy whipping cream, followed by 1/4 of a cup of whole milk. So have your lactate pills handy. And then we're gonna freshly grate a 1/4 cup of white cheddar cheese. You can also do Parmesan. I'm gonna just call that a 1/4 cup. Maybe it's not, maybe it is. And then just a couple of other items. We've got some cream cheese here that we're gonna stir in at the end. And we've got an assortment of spices. We've got smoked paprika, we've got red pepper flakes, and I've got a Cajun seasoning. This is the Heath Rouse Cajun Creole garlic butter, but you can use any Cajun seasoning that you want. We've also got some Better Than Bouillon roasted chicken, a little bit of sugar for some extra sweetness, and of course, copious amounts of butter. And one last thing, just some green onions. Now that we have all of our prep work out of the way, we can head over to the stove top where it's all gonna come together like magic. Now in a pan over medium heat, we're gonna go with about 3 tablespoons of butter. Now we don't want this butter to sizzle. We want it to foam softly, but if it starts sizzling, that means your heat is way too high. Otherwise, just let it melt a little bit. And we're also going to toss in about a tablespoon of olive oil. That might be a little bit more than a tablespoon, but you get the gist. And I like this combo because we get the flavor from the butter, but we also get the smoke point of the olive oil. So in case our heat is just a little bit too high, it should not burn the butter. So you see how we got nice bubbles going on, some foamy action? That's exactly what we're looking for. So now that our butter is melted, we're gonna go ahead and add in our onions and celery. And I'm also gonna throw in a pinch of salt. We're gonna season in stages, but this first part is gonna be getting some salt into our veggies. Salt always enhances flavor. It's also gonna draw out some moisture. And we just want these to cook until they're translucent. And after about 2 to 3 minutes, we're gonna add in our garlic. I'm gonna add in between 1 and 2 teaspoons of Cajun seasoning. I like Cajun seasoning, so that's why I'm leaning towards the higher end. If you've been watching this channel for a while, you know I love my smoked paprika, so we're going with a 1/2 teaspoon of smoked paprika and a 1/4 teaspoon of red pepper flakes. We're just gonna mix this up and let these spices bloom. The heat is gonna kinda deepen the flavor of everything. After about 30 seconds or so, we can see the color starting to deepen, which is a good sign. So now we're gonna add in our frozen sweet golden corn. I did not thaw this out because we kind of want to let some of that steam happen. And this is a 32-ounce bag. I only need 24 ounces technically, but I might just put all of this in here. We're gonna see how this looks. But for right now, I just wanna make sure that every kernel can get coated in our little buttery Cajun-y goodness. And I'm gonna let this keep going until these bigger chunks start to break down. For the most part, all the corn is good and coated, but I want this to kind of start steaming. So once this breaks down, I'll move on to the next step, which is gonna be adding in our cream and our chicken base and pretty much everything else we got going on. Once our big frozen chunks have broken down, we're gonna go ahead and add in that 3/4 cup of heavy whipping cream and that 1/4 cup of whole milk that we had. We're gonna come in with a tablespoon of our Better Than Bouillon roasted chicken base. And that was a very generous tablespoon. And that's the cool thing about the recipe like this. They're pretty flexible and pretty forgiving. So now we're gonna come in with a teaspoon of sugar. We're gonna add a pinch more salt, some freshly cracked black pepper. And let's just stir all of this up. Make sure everything's broken up, everything's distributed evenly. Definitely that chicken base, we wanna make sure that's mixed in evenly. And then we just wanna simmer this for 6 to 8 minutes until it's nice and thickened, and we're gonna stir it every 2 minutes. Now, it may take a little bit longer just depending on a couple of factors. Again, your actual heat level, that liquid was kind of cold, that milk and heavy cream, so that may slow down the simmer process from starting. So I'm just gonna keep an eye on it and just wait for it to get thick. So 6 to 8 minutes, could take 10, could take 15, but either way, we just wanna get that classic cream corn look. And one other thing, so I know I said 6 to 8 minutes. I'm not gonna start that timer until I see the tiny bubbles. So this could take an extra 5 minutes, but I want it to actually be at a simmer for 6 to 8 minutes. Just wanna kind of FYI that, because I know some people might be like, oh, time to simmer, and hit their watch, and then, you know, by the time 6 to 8 minutes has gone by, it's just started to simmer. All right, so you can see here, we've got our tiny bubbles going. That means our simmer has started, and that means I am going to set my timer. I'm gonna go for the high end of things and go for 8 minutes. But remember to stir it every 2 minutes. We wanna make sure that nothing is sitting in a hot spot for too long. We wanna make sure all those flavors, whether it's corn releasing its lovely juices or the Cajun trying to get into the corn, all sorts of food science that I don't actually know if it's real or not, but I wanna say it confidently. And you can say it confidently too. All right, it's been 8 minutes. It's not as thick as I would like for it to be. I'm just looking at how the juices are going when I wipe my spatula through it. And yeah, it's just not to my liking quite yet. So in my case, it could very well be that I added so much frozen corn and all that water from the corn got released into this, making it thin. So I'm almost positive that's what it is. And maybe I should have took my own advice from my own recipe and did 4 cups. So hey, you get to see me make my mistakes, so you don't have to make them. So let it rock for another 5, and we'll check back on it. All right, it's been 20 minutes, and as you can see, huge difference in letting that time go. Definitely the type of thickness we're looking for. You can run your spatula across the bottom, and it obviously opens up. So we're gonna lower this heat all the way to low. We're gonna add in what I'm calling 2 tablespoons of cream cheese. Could be more, but it's fine. This recipe, again, is flexible. So we just want this cream cheese to completely melt, and as you can see, it's definitely getting thicker as we let this melt inside. And so now with the heat turned completely off, we're gonna fold in that white cheddar cheese. I'm gonna add 1 more tablespoon of butter in because we used the other 3. I never said this was gonna be healthy. While that butter melts, we're gonna toss in just a little bit of our green onions. Not all of them. Get some extra onion flavor and some pops of color. And then one last addition, we're going to squeeze just a little bit of lemon juice, fresh lemon juice, maybe like half a teaspoon, and it's just going to brighten it up. We don't want it to taste lemony. We just want to add the brightness of that lemon. That's all we're doing. So that was probably like half a teaspoon. If you squeeze too much, it's going to overpower the Cajun seasoning, and it's just going to really make the dish go a different direction than where you wanted it to go. Y'all, look how creamy this has gotten. I ain't gonna lie, I was a little nervous at first because I put way too much corn in there. But hey, part of cooking is making mistakes and then making adjustments. That's why the channel is called Poor Choices Kitchen, because I don't want you to be afraid of the kitchen, number 1, but I also don't want you to be afraid to make mistakes. Cooking is an art form, and as long as you get to a delicious destination, it doesn't matter what adjustments you have to make. And then lastly, before we call it quits, we have to taste, because maybe this needs more salt, maybe it needs more Cajun seasoning. Let's find out. I'm gonna try this on camera and see what it needs. Oh, I don't need to do anything, true. Sorry, a little corn was on my mouth. Yeah, that's perfect. Normally I always need a little bit more salt because I kind of err on the caution side when it comes to salt, because I'm 40. I can't be having salt like I want to. I know there's a lot of mixed feelings about cream corn, but I'm telling you, if you bring this and people start eating it, you're gonna hear a lot of, oh my God, that's so good. And then the people who are skeptics are gonna be like, well shoot, let me try it. And then they're gonna be like, dang, this is good. And then you're gonna be the gold standard of cream corn. We're gonna call this quits, we're gonna plate it, and that's gonna be the end of this. I know some of you, when I did the live stream, you said you really like to see the plating process, so that's why I'm doing this here. It's got this little black kind of bowl. I don't know what it is. It just looked cool. And it was $5 at like Ross or wherever, Marshall, somewhere, wherever I got it at, and I just needed it for. I forgot what recipe I bought this for. While I am not a chef, I want the presentation to be good. So I'm just gonna clean up a little bit on the plate here. We're gonna hit it with a little dusting, just a little dusting of our Cajun seasoning from earlier. In fact, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pour this a little bit into my palm. Like if you think about how like potato salad and stuff is, where it has like that little dusting of stuff at the top at the end. I don't know why I said stuff instead of paprika for the fancy folk. We're just gonna add just a little bit on the top, just so it says Cajun. And also because I need a fire thumbnail. And then we have our other portion of our green onions that we're just gonna add on. It's nice to have it kind of fresh on top because it's not covered in cream, because that cream is gonna kind of dull the colors, and you eat with your eyes. So I want to make this look like, oh yeah, I'll give cream corn another chance if it looks like that. Off a little bit of this excess Cajun seasoning. And there you have it, my friends, the cream corn for your holidays. Hey everybody, this is Poor Choices Kitchen. We have a Patreon link down in the description. $1 a month is all we ask for to pay for recipes. And the cool thing about Patreon is that you can also donate more than $1. So you can do whatever you want, but the minimum is just $1. And on the other side, we have YouTube memberships. Those are $2.99, and those actually help in a different way. They help get the channel over the monthly threshold to get paid out by YouTube. Otherwise, I hope you enjoy this recipe. I hope you enjoy this new format. I haven't been the biggest fan of this kitchen aesthetic-wise, so that's why some of the Poor Choices episodes kind of dropped off, because I was like, I need to do something different. And also I wanted to reconnect with you all. The hands thing is very convenient, I should say, but it also makes me feel disconnected from you all. And I also don't want to get accused of being AI. So I'm gonna do a couple more of these. Let me know if you're vibing with it or not. I may do a mix of this and the hands one. I don't know. We're gonna see where it goes. That's the benefit of being a small channel, is you can do whatever you want with no consequences. So until next time, enjoy, and I'll see you back here hopefully very soon. Peace.